On today's Rule of Retirement, we want to give you some guidance when it comes to your New Year review. Every year you need to at least be looking at your accounts and making sure things are in order, and so this hopefully will provide you some guidance as you walk through that process. So first thing, obviously, where are all of your accounts? If you've got old accounts that maybe need to be consolidated, you need to look at and see if that is an option that you want to take advantage of, or you could just maybe have done that in the past and not updated your record. So making sure that you have an accurate listing of where all of your money is very important. So we want to make sure we do that first. Then, as we look at all those accounts, we want to make sure that the beneficiaries that you have are up to date. Again, if you're in a second marriage, you could have a previous spouse on there. That's not a great thing to find if you are surprised by that. So again, we want to make sure that all this money, when you're done with it, in the event of maybe an untimely event occurring, we want to make sure that your beneficiaries are set up to receive this money, because that beneficiary designation will actually supersede your will or even your trust. So we might want to make sure we know that. And then just a very basic practical question of how are your investments doing? Each year that passes, you may be getting closer to retirement or closer to accessing this money, and so you may want to look at, do I need to reduce my risk? Do I need to make any changes? Am I crossing a threshold like 70 and a half when I get to required minimum distribution age and I need to start pulling things out? Sometimes changes may be needed when we look at the way that we're investing those monies, and if we're doing that on an annual basis, we can have a good pulse of what that previous year looked like and what decisions we need to make. So then the last thing is, who has access to your account information? And that is something that you want to keep confidential, but it is something to know that, if something happened to you, does your spouse, do any of your children know how to get in touch with your financial advisor or financial planner, or even how to log into some of the accounts to get information about that? Because especially with today's day and age, with most of the things being online, making sure somebody has the usernames and passwords to all the locations they need, or items in your safety deposit box. You want to make sure everyone has ample access to the things, just in case something happens to you or your spouse in the event of, like we said, an untimely event occurring. So as we look at this year in review, you want to do this on an annual basis. If you want to look at it more often, it's not a bad thing, but at least once a year, get a refresher of where all your stuff is, so that you're not caught with any gaping holes in your plan and you have a good pulse of what's going on as you proceed through the new year.